we're recording and just didn't announce it for some reason.
Okay, all right. So I'd like to open up the January 23rd, 2025 meeting for the Franklin Conservation Commission. Just wanted to point out that we are recording this video and audio. If you want to make a separate recording, please let us know before you do. And then I will take a quick roll call.
Richard Johnson's here.
Louis Puga's here.
Mark LePage here.
Jeff Livingstone.
Michael Ryan here.
Roger Trahan here.
Nicole Sharmonti.
Okay, we have full tilt. Before we begin, I just want to make a couple of comments, administrational comments. One, I want to remind everyone that we do have a 30-day period that we're now adhering to. If basically we don't have people showing up for their hearings, and there's been no communication whatsoever, 2 meetings in a row, it is highly likely that at the next meeting, we will essentially terminate the hearing. We are way too busy, we have way too many things going on, and our agent is absolutely underwater in the backlog. So we cannot keep carrying people that don't show up and don't communicate with the commission. We're going to become very hardcore about that going forward, just so people know. Number one. Number two, for some time we've had a couple of people, not very many, but a couple, that have taken the position where they can just simply pop in and communicate via email to a specific commissioner or a specific agent about a hearing that's going on, when these topics really should be done in a public hearing, or that even if there's a public hearing already open. That is the form, that is the process. We have a couple of people that really take advantage of this. We're going to stop allowing that to happen going forward. So once again, we're going to become pretty hardcore about people trying to bypass the process and get things done outside of the public hearing. That's not right. It's not the process. We're not going to do it anymore. So fair warning. So if you get mad at us for pushing back, saying, sorry, you need to come in and talk to us, that's what that means. All right? I'm getting tired of it. It's becoming chronic. And I'm not just not going to put up with it anymore. Okay? That's it. So, enough said. So with that, those 2 pieces of information, let's open up the first public hearing for 15 Liberty Way.
Roll call.
I'm sorry?
Roll call.
We actually did.
Oh, I just did.
Did you?
Just
Yeah,
did, believe it or not.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know where I was then. Please continue.
We can do it again.
I heard your speech. I
We
was
can do it
here. I
live.
don't know what
We
happened.
can do it again.
We can use voices.
You're good.
Okay. Okay, so, well, we are opening up the meeting for 15 Liberty Way. Do we have anyone here or online for 15 Liberty Way?
You've got me online, Chair Livingstone.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
So quick update for you guys. We have been continued to the planning board's, I believe, February 10th hearing. Looking like we're nearing the finish line on those review comments as far as stormwater goes. I think the way the timing is going to fall, it probably makes sense that we request to continue this to your February 20th hearing. So I'd like to make that request.
Okay,
We were thinking the same thing, so that'd be great. Yeah, 2 meetings out.
okay. Okay, so, we got that?
I'll give you a motion to continue the NOI for 15 Liberty Way to February 20th at 7:10 p.m.
7:01.
7:01.
7:01,
Yep.
oh, yeah, it is.
7:01.
Well, eyes aren't what they used to be.
I'm also dyslexic. I'm kidding.
I just got it.
You just got it? Okay.
I took a minute.
Really? Okay. Second?
Second that.
Second?
Second, vote to
Okay.
continue.
Vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
Continue?
Continue.
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 Thanks for continued. We've got a T. Okay. All right. Now we'll open up the second hearing for the NOI for Louise Drive. Is there anyone online or in the audience for Louise Drive?
You've got me for this one as well.
Right?
I'm here on behalf of my colleague, Tom Schutz, who had a conflict tonight. We've essentially, as of this afternoon, wrapped up peer review responses for both the wetland side of things as well as the stormwater side of things. There were a lot of comments for the stormwater side, and the engineers kind of took their time going through those things carefully to make sure they were all addressed thoroughly. So we will be having a package of those revisions and responses for you. If not tomorrow, it'll be very early next week.
Okay,
So I believe we can probably continue this to your next hearing.
okay, all right. Any other questions, guys? Good, good?
All right, give you a motion to continue the NOI in Louise Drive to February 6th at 7:02.
Second,
Actually, it'll be 7:01, because it'll be.
7:01,
Yep.
That's not what I'm
yes.
Okay,
Second, and I vote to continue.
okay, okay,
Vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
continue,
Continue.
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 continue, continue. Now we go to the third hearing. This is for the NOI for lot 160 Spring Street. And there is I guess there is a peer review from Beta that has been provided, correct?
Correct, and then the applicant responded today and requested a continuance,
Okay.
just to respond. They're
Okay.
generally administrative in nature, so I would anticipate,
That's what we heard last time, it was just pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yep.
Pretty close.
Yep.
So we're really close.
Yep.
Is the applicant here, does the applicant want to say anything? I mean, they don't have to.
No, they're at a separate meeting.
Okay, okay, all right.
Yep.
Okay, then we will take a motion to continue.
I'll give you a motion to continue the NOI for Lot 160 Spring Street to February 6th at 7:02 PM.
Nice. Second that.
Vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
Continue.
Continue,
Continue.
Continue.
Continue?
continue. Okay, so now we go to lot 3, same thing, identical, okay? So we'll just skip to the end, have a motion to continue.
Give you a motion to continue the NOI on Lot 3, 60 Spring Street to February 6th. No, that's a trick question with the 9 there. To February 6th at 7:03.
I'll second that motion.
Okay.
Vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
What? Continue.
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 Trying to trip us
It's
up.
the opposite of listastic. I don't know what that one is. But I think they're all inverted.
Oh. Okay, all right.
Apologies.
We're just trying to keep people on their toes.
Yeah.
Are they paying attention?
We are
For
looking.
the
Are
day.
they paying attention, right? What's this reference? Purple octopus, what? Just to make sure you're actually reading the stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, so we'll open up the 5th public hearing, which is the NOI for Prospect Street culvert repair.
This one is another request for continuance per the applicant. As of yesterday, draft response was on Mike Maglio's desk. He just has to provide a review, so I do anticipate that tomorrow.
Okay, all right, right. And there's nothing to present on this, right? Or they
Correct.
just asked,
Yep.
there's-
Yep.
So,
Okay,
we talked about maybe prompting them, but now it looks like
Yeah, I spoke with Mike at Tech Review yesterday.
okay, so,
Awesome.
good. All right, great,
Another.
excellent.
Okay.
All right, so I'll take a continuance, motion.
I'll give you a motion to continue the NOI for Prospect Street culvert repair to February 9th at 7:04 PM.
Okay,
Second that?
February.
Vote to continue.
Just
February
6 or
6th.
9?
6.
Oh,
the 6th.
Oh,
It is the 6th, yes, that's correct. 6, correct, 6.
Second, second to 6th.
6th. Vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
Continue,
Continue.
Continue.
Continue?
okay, continued.
Ooh,
Okay. Now, I would like to open up the 6th public hearing, which is the NOI for Lot 2844 Lincoln Street. And it looks like we're pretty much at the end of the line with this one, right? Yes? That's fantastic. Anything else that, would you like to?
Unless I'm gonna mess this up, I
No,
don't
no,
want to
no,
say
no, 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 no. No, if there's anything, no, I mean, just, if there's anything you want us to know.
No, only that we did provide a response to the comments that we discussed at the last meeting. One of the things that we had talked about was possibly conditioning an invasives management plan. Because we had the time between the meetings, we were able to submit that. So that's, that can leave as a condition. The only thing that we have requested is that the ongoing monitoring associated be made a continuing condition, so that way my client could, if he needs to transfer the property, could get a COC and have that monitoring continue after the fact.
Yeah.
But other than that, there was something else we gave you too, but I don't remember what, oh, we counted the
Calcs.
trees.
Oh, yeah, and the trees.
Yeah, we gave the calcs for the ILSF and we counted the trees.
Okay.
Total, each lot, I know we're only talking lot 2 right now, we're only removing generously 12 trees.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, sure.
And that was at over 3 inches or more, right?
that was over 3 inches of
Yeah,
water.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
And
So that
I
makes
photo
sense.
documented them in the response too.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for doing it.
Thank you. Sure.
So, yeah, we're done, basically. I mean, we're at the end. Okay. So I have a recommendation for approval with these specific conditions. Does anybody want to make that motion?
Chair
Well, we get-
Livingstone, so there is a modification
Oh,
to
sorry.
one of the conditions based on the invasive species management plan,
Oh,
and I should read them into the record.
okay, all right,
And we gotta include the variance too, right?
Correct.
okay. Oh, correct, yes, that's true.
So I would recommend approval with standard special conditions 20 through 44, 46 through 51, and 52. The depicted limit of lawn disturbance shown on plans, 3 sheets entitled Proposed Lot 2, Notice of Intent prepared by Strong Point Engineering Solutions LLC. Pages 1 and 2 dated October 25th, 2024, and page 3 dated October 14th, 2024, and all pages revised on December 31st, 2024, stamped and signed by Eric D. Diaz. Massachusetts PE number 48158 is the only limit of lawn disturbance approved by this order in perpetuity. All vegetated areas inside this limit of lawn disturbance may be lawn, with the exception of the restoration and replication area. Refer to the planting plan approved by this order for additional details. 53. Best management practices and associated monitoring under the invasive species management plan shall continue regardless of property owner
Which
in
is-
perpetuity
that- yeah,
until
okay.
completion of work. 54, the applicant and/or their representative shall provide and receive approval of a construction sequence events to the commission and/or the conservation agent prior to the building permit approval and commencement of work. This submittal shall also include information of the persons responsible for inspecting and maintaining erosion and sedimentation controls and all other requirements listed in section 7.12.1 of the bylaw regulations.
These are good, you good?
Yeah, the only thing I was wondering, and you may have said it, I didn't catch it, both the restoration plan and the invasives have ongoing monitoring for a period of, I think, 2 or 3 years. Those are both covered as continuing conditions, correct?
Correct, yep.
Good to go.
Good,
Thank you.
okay.
I'll give you a motion to approve the NOI for Lot 2, 844 Lincoln Street to include with the standard special conditions 20 to 44, 46 to 51, and 53, 52, 53, and 54 as stated,
As well as the variance request.
as well as the variance request. Thank you.
Okay. And,
Second that?
okay,
I vote to approve.
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 approve?
Approve?
Approve.
Approved.
Approve.
Great, thank you very much.
Thanks for working with us.
Yeah, absolutely, thank you. Appreciate your help.
The next lot, right?
We got another one.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay.
Ditto.
Can you, just for the record, can you state your name? I don't think you mentioned it.
Oh, you know what, I don't think I did either. Yes, Eric Dias, registered professional engineer with Strong Point Engineering.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we'd like to open up the 7th hearing, which is Lot 384 Lincoln Street. And it's essentially exactly the same thing, yes? Okay. Can we go ahead and just take a motion to, with the approval, with the conditions, special conditions and variance?
And the variance,
As previously stated?
As
As
previously
stated for lot 2.
Okay,
as stated
I
for
can't
Lot
remember
2.
what I
Yeah,
said,
yeah, okay.
so,
Yeah, that's okay.
because I was
Yeah.
thinking on the fly
Okay.
for that condition.
All right, I'll give you a motion
This
to,
is our attempt at dodge.
It's good.
Right?
I like it.
a motion to approve the NOI for Lot 3, 844 Lincoln Street, including the variance request as well as the special conditions as stated for Lot 2.
Right.
I second that motion.
Okay,
A vote to approve.
Vote to approve.
Vote to approve.
approved.
Approve.
Approved.
Approved?
Thank you, guys.
It's a good day, we got two
Thank
now.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Good
Yep.
stuff.
Okay. Now I'd like to open up the 8th public hearing, the NOI for 55 Constitution Boulevard. And there still is stormwater review going on this project, correct?
Yep, and the applicant requested a continuance to be able to accommodate for
Okay.
that.
Did they want to say anything, or no?
They're- No, they're not here.
Okay, all right, fine, thank you. Okay, so
Yep.
we'll,
Is this, I can't remember, is this one we might want to put out 2 weeks, or, I mean, 2 meetings?
that's a question.
Probably.
What do you think?
I don't know when they're on the next planning board agenda, but I assume if 15 Liberty is on the 10th, that's probably the next planning board meeting,
That's what I was, yeah,
so.
I mean, so I recommend we
Two,
maybe push it out to the 20th.
20th?
Everybody good with that? I mean, no.
I'm fine, yeah.
I
We're
believe
pushing
they-
it out to when, the 20th?
I believe they would be amenable to that, because we are wrapped up.
Okay.
It's just now waiting for stormwater.
Okay, all right.
So that'd be the,
20th.
that'd be the second, 7:02 then.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, good catch.
yes, good catch, yes. Good.
You got it.
I'll give you a motion to continue the NOI for 55 Constitution Boulevard to February 20th at 7:02 PM.
Second that,
Vote to continue.
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 Continue?
Continue?
Continue.
Continue?
Continue. You guys? Right. Now, we'll go to hearing number 9. We're opening now the hearing for NOI for 124, 126 Grove Street. And there was a request for consideration also here.
That's correct. The applicant requested continuance since there's copious amount of information between Planning Board and Conservation Commission for revisions. They did request a meeting, a work session next week, which Vice Chair LePage said he was able to attend either on Tuesday or Wednesday. So I'm waiting to hear back from them on when that would occur.
Okay, then we'll just wait till after that.
Yeah, so, and then that would include their team, and then Mike Maglio, our town engineer, Amy Love, town planner, myself, Beta, their stormwater engineers, wetland scientists, and everybody.
Yeah. Okay, unless you guys have any questions, we'll just go ahead and make the motion, yes? Okay.
I'll give you a motion to continue the NOI for 124-126 Grove Street to February 6th, and I believe it's 7:05.
Thanks, I guess.
Yeah.
That's good.
Second that,
I vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
continue.
Continue,
Continue?
Continue.
Continue?
thank you very much. That's you. Okay. All right, now I'd like to open up the 10th public hearing, which is the NOI for 1 Paddock Lane. And I have a note here that there, just recently, there was a site visit.
Yep, last Thursday, so review's ongoing. I've already compiled my comments and sent them off to Beta so they can include them in their letter. I anticipate that, I believe John said tomorrow, if not Monday.
Okay, so that's what is gonna go back to the applicant then, probably
Mhm.
tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay, so we're just waiting for that process.
Yep.
to finish, yes. All right, okay, I guess we'll just take the motion to continue while that
Any thought, is that another 2-meeting candidate, or?
Chris, how's your workload?
Oh, there.
Um,
We're good.
I think we've probably already addressed a good portion of what I anticipate will come in that letter over the last couple of weeks. So I think we can go 2 weeks out on this one.
Great.
Okay.
So, love that.
Yeah, thanks, Rick.
All right, so we're proposing a continuation on the NOI for 1 Paddock Lane to February 6th at 7:06.
I second that.
Public comment.
This is John Detterman. Am I able to
Oh.
ask questions at this point?
Sure.
Yeah.
Can I just ask for a recap of where we are in the process? My outstanding question from the last meeting was, we left off last year with denial of the ANRAD, right? So are the drawings that were submitted, what wetland delineations are they based on?
Sure, so the ANRAD was denied due to lack of information. That is different than a total denial based on a wetland boundary. So the plans that are submitted now are current, they're dated. They could feasibly use the wetland boundary plan from last year too. It's within a modest amount of time frame for a delineation. However, the difference in the wetland boundaries is the upland island that was depicted on the south side of the wetland is now removed. So the ANRAD process, without consideration for what's coming, consideration meaning we're not supposed to know what a future project is, so it doesn't promote a bias. We're purely looking at boundaries here. That is separate from a notice of intent. Regardless of who files a notice of intent, wetland boundaries get confirmed. Wetland boundaries are always field verified prior to any sort of approval for a project.
So the ANRAD doesn't need to be reopened and started that process again?
Correct.
That's
Yep.
Embedded in the notice of intent now?
Correct. Yep, so the all resource areas have been identified per the applicant. I went out, Beta went out, our third-party reviewer. We reviewed what the applicant delineated, and now we're providing a response. So we're
So
not
it's-
even looking at structures yet. or
Yeah.
proposed.
So it's premature to ask if the town and the third party are in agreement with the applicant?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Is it premature to ask if there's agreement between the town, the third party, and the applicant at this point?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. And if I can just, I'm probably guilty of sending the email to you, Bricolite, and to the commission as well, but if I can just summarize what I said to the email, in the email for the record is, I know that the applicant bought this house or the property with full knowledge of the wetlands, the privileges and restrictions that come with that. If we're going ahead now to the notice of intent, if there's discussion about the wetlands don't matter, I believe I sent a screenshot of my property, which is wetlands that goes out to Plain Street, which would make a beautiful spot for a two-car garage with an accessory dwelling above, and to hell with the wetlands. So I think that's what we're saying here, is that even if the wetlands are agreed upon, we're entertaining discussion of building on them. So I enter that for the record.
So to be clear, right, we're agreeing on the wetland boundaries and delineation. You know, anybody has the opportunity and the ability to submit a project, right? And then we consider it. So it's two separate processes. I think we're talking about the same thing, but, you know, just based on the delineation, we don't and can't prevent an applicant from presenting a project. So we do need to at least always consider it. Doesn't necessarily mean it'll go through, doesn't mean it won't go through, just everybody has the same opportunity and right to present. But that's downstream next step, to your point, where we're gonna agree on the delineation, and we'll consider the ramifications of the notice of intent for the project itself. So I don't know if that helps at all.
So the applicant acknowledged that they will, in the notice of intent, that they will build on wetlands.
They can say anything they want to say. They still have to get through the commission. I mean, we're gonna go
Okay.
25 foot, we're gonna build like a superstructure. Okay, you can propose that, that's fine. You probably won't get it, but you can propose it.
You know, and I believe, actually I should look at the minutes, but at the last meeting, it was indicated, maybe Chris, you confirmed this, that consideration was being given to a smaller footprint for the NOI. So and we haven't even gotten to that yet, right? But we did talk verbally about that, Chris, I think, right?
Correct. Yeah, I don't want to get too deep into discussion here as we're going to be continuing this, but yeah, we are, we're pulling back that footprint a bit.
Yeah, and I just want to point out that, it is not zero cost to be putting together the work and effort and with all the professional hours for an NOI, right? So if you're going to propose something that's really dumb or that's really blatantly like what, basically you're probably going to end up throwing a lot of money away on a baseless project. So there is that compulsion for people to actually present a project that makes sense before they go to the expense of putting together.
I'm having trouble hearing because somebody's moving papers.
Yeah,
Did you just say that don't waste the commission's time?
well,
fraudulently?
there's that too, I mean, there's that too, but I mean, again, you have to kind of have some knowledge of, what makes sense to do and not. So, and we typically don't see crazy projects that are blatantly, we're just gonna clear cut all the wetlands and blah, blah, blah. We don't see that kind of stuff, because what they know it's the probability of getting something through like that, given all of the regulations, is extremely small. So why go to all the trouble and the expense to do that? That would be silly, right? So.
This is my question to the applicant on this particular point.
Right. Okay. Are we good?
Are there
Any questions?
any other comments?
Concerns?
Hi, can I have a quick question,
Yes,
comment?
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Renata Guevara, 38 Palomino Drive. Just so I've been listening to the conversations you just had with John, and my understanding is that we are continuing to the next meeting, and that the next meeting should be the discussion about the delineation first, correct?
Yes. Basically,
Okay, and can
basically,
it-
what is it that we're working with, right? Let's all agree, what is it that we actually have to work with? Then the project will
Right.
work with that. But we don't know until we have an approved delineation where things are.
Right, so is it a possibility that at the same meeting will be discussed both the delineation, if you guys agree on it, and the project subsequently, or will it be just the delineation first and then the project and then meeting after, or how does that work?
No, the ANRAD is a separate meeting. The ANRAD, yeah, the approval is that. Because basically you have to then use that to build the NOI on top of that, right? So that has to be done first.
Bricolage?
Yeah, for brevity, sorry, Renata, I can explain a little bit more. So the ANRAD is a separate filing. Review of resources still occurs in a notice of intent. It can happen concurrently. So likely what's going to happen is what we are doing, what I am doing, what our third party is doing is now we're looking at the resource area, we're looking at where there's agreement, where there's disagreement, and impacts for a future project. So the conversation next week may have, okay, this is where the boundary is, this is where we agree, this is where we disagree. This is also where the project is in compliant or not compliant. Additionally, projecting out, right, Chris had mentioned that they're already looking to scale back. So what I would tell abutters is, okay, so we're gonna have this conversation at the next meeting because of a peer review letter, but there's still changes in the works. And to piggyback off Vice Chair LePage and Chair Livingstone, people can try to permit the moon. It doesn't mean they're going to get it.
Yeah, right.
Right? What our town engineer likes to say is permit for the stars, but just expect Earth, right? So it is, it is emotionally frustrating, and I understand and relate to you in that point, but because it still is private property, you know, that, and we live in America, you know, they have every right to come and try and permit and pitch an
Oh, yeah,
idea. So, you know, we try to optimize and work with people with their ideas, and not everybody views wetlands or forests or wildlife the way that we do. So there's an education component in there too.
I generally say
Okay,
we
thank-
have good dialogue with applicants and recommendations back and forth. I mean, that's the point of the process,
I
right?
mean, I
is-
want to get the project.
Yeah,
That's the whole
yeah,
point. They wouldn't even be doing this if they,
Yeah.
why would they be doing this if they didn't
Yeah.
want a good, you know, a good
Hmm.
outcome? So we do try to work with them.
yeah. But good questions, Renata. Did you have another one?
No, all said, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Sure.
appreciate you.
Okay. Any
being
other
part of it.
questions by the online people while we're here? Anything? Any more? You guys have anything? No?
Okay, I'll give you a motion to continue the NOI for 1 Paddock Lane to February 6th at 7:06 PM.
Did they request 2 weeks out?
Did they do 2 weeks? Chris?
This one-
Sorry, I said 2 weeks with the intention of being one hearing out.
Right,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, I thought it
Let
was
me-
the next.
Let me modify that then to February 20th at
No.
No, February 6th, so
You
2
were right,
weeks,
I'm
next
sorry.
meeting.
Six, yeah,
It's a quiz.
It's a quiz. So it's February 6th at 7:06?
Yes,
six.
please.
7:06, I think, yeah.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay,
Second that.
Okay,
vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
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 Continue?
Continue. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Now, let's go on to, thank you for the excellent questions, guys. Very good. I'm glad to see the participation. Very, very important. Thank you. So let's go on to the 11th public hearing, which is the ANRAD. Here's the ANRAD for 444 East Central Street. And you guys, again, this is, you had a visit, a site visit, right? So,
Yes, it's a notice of intent, I'm getting looks from Louis.
what is,
Uh,
what?
It is an ANRAD for
Oh,
444
it is
East
an
Central
ANRAD.
Street, is what I noticed.
Okay, now, okay, okay.
You're right,
All right.
just pointing out the looks.
All right. So, basically, we're still under review, there's nothing,
Yeah, site visit occurred also last Thursday, review
Okay.
ongoing, same thing.
all right, okay.
How was the site visit?
Good, fine,
Nothing's farther. Okay,
no,
all right,
surprisingly.
okay.
Do we have any comments on,
You got comments? No?
just checking?
Check it.
I've got nothing to add on this one. We gave you responses to DEP comments at the last hearing, just waiting on Beta's letter now.
Okay,
Thanks, Chris.
okay, thank you.
Is Chris doing them all these projects? He's a busy man.
Yeah, busy guy, super busy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty close to it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'll give you a motion to continue the ANRAD on 444 East Central Street, February 6th at, I think we're at 7:07.
You got it. I vote to second that. And I vote to continue.
Okay,
Vote to continue.
Continue.
continue?
Continue?
Continue.
Continue.
Continue, thank you. Okay, and then opening up the 12th public hearing, which is the NOI for 7 Charles River Drive. And I have here that, so I have a question about a comment here. So the applicant yet to conduct initial project presentation. So we haven't actually had a presentation
Correct.
yet.
The first public hearing was was your last meeting.
Mhm.
Okay,
The representative for the applicant requested a continuance. And then earlier today, there was another request for a continuance, but I do believe she's online now. So it's either the representative or the applicant can present their project. I know typically the commission does prefer that at the first public hearing, there is an initial presentation for a project.
at least to just bring people up to speed what it is. yeah,
Correct.
Generally.
Yeah.
Does the applicant or their agent want to do that now?
Yes, I'm here to represent the applicant.
Okay, great, great.
And I'm on as the applicant too, just to make you aware, Ted Harrington, but I'll defer to Karen.
Okay, great. Go ahead.
Okay. So, do you want me to share my screen, or
Yeah.
did you want to put that up,
If you could
Rebecca?
introduce yourself, Karen, that'd be great.
Okay, Karen Skinner-Catroni, wetland consultant, representing the owners of 7 Charles River Drive.
Great. Thank you.
So you'd like me to put the plan up, correct?
Yeah.
Should be able to.
Okay. All right, so I'd like to flag the wetlands and the owners are proposing the installation of an in-ground pool and patio. I flagged the site in September of 2024. BVW, as you can see, was flagged in the rear sides of the property. The pool is proposed outside the 50-foot buffer and on existing lawn. A construction sequence plan was submitted with the filing. The compost sock is proposed outside the 50-foot buffer as erosion control. The pool filter will be near to the house. The filter will be a cartridge filter, which will not require backwashing. There'll be no stockpile on the site. All material taken out from the pool will be loaded into a truck, taken off the site. There's approximately 1,344 square feet of disturbance. No trees need to be removed. No trees need to be removed, but if I recall the site, there's burning bush in the area that they're proposing the pool, so that will be removed for the installation. There's no riverfront, natural heritage, or floodplain associated with the project. And that's it. Does anyone have any questions, or?
It would be nice if we had the plans in front of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
We don't actually have a physical plan, right? No.
Beyond what she's,
So I am.
So there's no engineered plan?
Right.
So, I'm conducting a desktop review to make sure that this meets compliance with the bylaw. Karen, our bylaw does state you need a plan. I'm sure
So
there's
we
a
just did this
conversation
before.
to be had with the chair and the rest of the commission to see if you could at least get spec sheets for the pool, what the pool company's looking to
Yeah.
install, if there's gonna be a paver plaza around the pool. So that's definitely something that I would suggest you have, but, to go back to the commission, I am doing my desktop review of compliance with the bylaw. There are some outstanding items, and then I am waiting for some more snow melt to conduct a site visit. Next Tuesday is what I have in my calendar, since it'll be low 40s. So.
Yeah, so Karen, we really would like something to look at, just to give us.
So I just did this, yes, I understand your frustration. So I did submit a plan like this for, I think it was 5 Oak Tree.
Yeah.
And the commission accepted it, so, but I do understand,
It was much farther away, and at least, it was drawn on, you had some arrows on there, you did provide the spec sheet for the pool, for 5 Oak Tree
I
Lane.
believe I provided
and-
that.
And I had spoken to the pool company, so there was some more information that the
Right.
commission had.
Just a little bit.
Just some,
Yeah.
something.
Okay, fair enough.
Rather than look at
Just
this
sketch it in
photograph
on
and
that one you
this
got there.
Yeah. Yeah. Just so if we're gonna have.
Sketch what in?
Well,
Put the pool on the drawing that you have right there that we're looking
The
at.
pool's on there,
Yeah.
the pool's on
It's
there,
in there.
right there.
Okay, well, all right. It's a long way away.
Do you
So-
have your delineation actually, Karen? I'm sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
Chair Puga, look at that. Commissioner Puga. But, do you happen to have, a delineated map, or did you also just use Mass Mapper for this?
So no, I went out and delineated the site,
Okay.
there's flags out there,
Okay,
the flags are out there.
okay,
So they measured, the pool company measured 65 feet from the pool.
okay. But this is a Mass Mapper layer, so what I'm wondering
Yes.
is the difference between what you delineated versus what's shown here. And if that's actually 65 feet.
So the flags are 65 feet because he measured from the flags.
Okay, so then this map is an approximation of that 65 feet.
Yeah.
Because this.
So 65
delineation
feet is what it actually is.
Okay.
So,
As
so
long
if
as
you
it's
look
on
at,
record and clarified. I'm
yeah,
fine.
that's good. So if you look at that dotted line, is that the pool? It looks like based on the notes, there's a patio around it. Is that the pool and the patio? Is it
That's,
Yep.
that's the erosion control.
So it says 12-inch,
Oh, okay.
Compost
I
sock
got you.
around
got you.
it.
So the pools, I see it. It's tough to read in the, all right, so the white square, the white rectangle is the pool. Is, again. is that-
Exactly.
Is that the pool and the patio included?
Pool and patio, yep.
So that's the whole thing
Hmm.
in that?
Mhm.
Okay, got it.
I can see it now.
is that to scale, the pool?
I think so.
Pool company did the plan, so, and he was unable to come tonight.
Okay. So you're good to get some more info for us? Perfect.
And I can have him on the next meeting too, if you have any
That
questions.
would be helpful.
Thanks a lot, Karen.
So will your map show the size of the pool plus the size of the decking around it?
I will, yes,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's helpful.
yeah.
Perfect.
Very helpful. Anything else, guys?
No.
Any suggestions? No? Okay. I'll take a motion, we'll continue.
I'll give you a motion to continue the NOI for 7 Charles River Drive to February 6th at 7:08.
Second that?
Vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
Vote to continue, sir.
Continue?
Continue?
Continue.
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 All right.
Okay, now let's open up the 13th hearing of the evening, which is the ANRAD for 47 Partridge Street. And it says, there is a review ongoing, and it says, the notes are, we are waiting for the snow melt to happen so that we can have a reasonable site visit, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
The same thing, early next week.
You're pessimistic. You're very optimistic.
It's gonna
And this
happen.
one is an ANRAD, too.
Do we get,
You can only live in Anchorage so long.
This is not Anchorage. You lived in Wisconsin.
You get up and it's like -6, what?
You've gone
Yeah.
soft.
Uh-huh. Go to Boston, it will be warmer than New Jersey, they say.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right, so basically, there's nothing really on this until the site visit happens, right? Nothing else? Or is there
we
anything?
get scope?
Initial
Oh, it's
presentation.
the presentation, yeah, okay.
This is the first public hearing
Oh,
for
yeah,
this.
okay. So,
However,
do we have someone that would like to give the first presentation of the project?
yeah. Mr. Goudreau
Richard
is
there?
online.
Yeah, there he is. Hey, Rick, you live? You're muted.
I am, hold on,
All right.
hit the wrong button here. I think I was sleeping, I apologize. I have a 6 AM flight tomorrow morning, so
Oh, yeah.
trying to catch some
That stinks.
shut-eye.
Yeah,
Good evening, Rick Goodrow with United Consultants. This project is located at 47 Partridge Street. I was wondering if I would be able to share my screen, just give the commission a brief overview, and I believe Beta and the agent are going to want to do a site walk, and due to weather conditions, have not been able to do that as of yet. So if the commission would like, as I said, I could give you a brief overview of the project.
Please, please.
Uh-oh, that's not good. Are you able to see that?
Nope, nothing yet.
I probably can't see it, even if it is on there.
Share screen. Keeps giving me a picture of me.
There, now
you go.
you're up.
All right, I got something.
Yeah, you got me? Do you have me?
Oh, yeah, got the whole thing.
Is this what I just put on?
That's what you put up.
Oh.
You put
Is
that
this
up.
me?
Greg put it up.
All right.
How about that? Can you see that?
Wait.
Hold on.
Hold it.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
All right.
All right, I apologize. So, as I mentioned, this is a site located at 47 Partridge Street. First step that we're looking to have accomplished is a review and approval of the wetland resource areas located on the site. We have had Goddard Consultant, Chris, had done the wetland delineation for the BVW. And you can see the BVW line is located here, up into the field. And then it turns and runs down towards the river, and then it turns and runs away from the river to the back of the property and slightly off the property. And then continues generally off of the property. We have shown a 25, 50, and 100-foot buffer zone to that, to that BVW. We have also provided a 100-year flood elevation line, bordering land subject to flooding, which we have highlighted here in yellow. And that was established based on a site topography of the property. And then lastly, and Chris can hopefully speak to this, there's great difficulty in accessing the river due to the conditions that are out there. So what we had done was we had basically traced the river off of the historical plan of record, and then we had compared that to some aerial photographs of the area, and generally the river was located in this general area. We have shown a 100-foot riverfront area here in green to the river, and a 200-foot riverfront area up here to the river. And as you can see, this rear portion of the potential riverfront area is actually located in the BVW. It then exits the BVW, and there's a very small area that is outside of the 50-foot buffer zone to the BVW. It then goes back in to the 25-foot buffer zone area, and then again comes back out at the street. But it is contained within the bordering land subject to flooding, in that the riverfront area is not outside or the most upgradient resource area, if you will. So that's why we had felt that that may be an appropriate way to address it. That's a brief overview of the project. As I said, I understand that the agent and Beta are probably going to be doing a site walk, and we'd be happy to answer any questions. And again, if the commission had any questions specific to the river and the delineation of the mean annual high water, I believe Chris could answer those. Thank you.
Any questions?
Anything from the public on that? Okay. All right, give you a motion to continue the ANRAD for 47 Partridge Street to February 6th at 7:09.
I second that. Vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
Continue.
Continue?
Continue.
Continue.
Continue?
Thank you. Thank you, Rick.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you.
Okay, now we go on to the 14th public hearing for the evening, which is the NOI for 102 Panther Way. Now, there's a note here, we don't have a DEP number yet, right? Is there someone here to present on the project, or the overview project for 101, 102 Panther Way?
It would be another Rick project.
Rick?
Is you, Rick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, are we ready for Panther Way?
Yep, oh, yeah.
You're up.
All right, can we share the screen again, and I hopefully have better luck this time? How's that? Everybody able to see that?
Yeah, you're up.
So this is a site plan for a residential and commercial development, mixed-use project located off of Panther Way with some frontage on West Central Street, down in this area here, Panther Way here. This portion of the site is currently developed with the bus parking lot that people may see as they make their way down Panther Way. I can, just to give you a general idea of where things are. I'm gonna go to this plan because it's a little clearer. As part of this project, which we are proposing as a senior development project, we are proposing to install a walking trail for the rear portion of the site. And this area here would be located within the 50 to 100-foot buffer zone to a bordering vegetated wetland. There is some grading that is being proposed for this construction of these units. That would also be in that, but in that buffer zone area. I did, just want to show you this because it's a little clearer. The site grading plan gets a little bit busier, but we can now go to that. So here is the site grading plan, and you can see the grading that's being proposed to the rear of the housing units. And then the pathway also has some grading to soften the slope of the path. And we have proposed an erosion control compost sock in this area here to protect the BVW from the construction that'll be taking place up gradient, both the site grading for the houses and for the pathway. The path then clears out of the buffer zone and continues to the back of the property and makes a loop. So again, I understand that the conservation agent in Beta, I don't believe have had an opportunity to review this as well. And certainly the weather conditions are not conducive to site walks and inspections. So we understand that. So we do expect that the commission would suggest a continuation to this project as well. But we did want to take the opportunity to give you a brief presentation of the project. We have had one meeting with the planning board that went fairly well. We have not received any review comments from any of the town boards and or Beta with respect to the planning board review. So we are awaiting those. We have been continued till I believe the 24th of February. So that's basically an update as to where that project is, and we'd be happy to answer any questions the commission or the abutters may have.
So this is right next to the bus parking area and the great big building there, what's in that building anyway?
That's a good question.
That's a good question, yeah.
Rick, do you know what's in that building?
The owners actually utilize a portion of the building for the bus business, and then there is a business that rents the second floor. Exactly what they do, I'm not 100% sure. They have some storage and some sales, from what I understand, but I honestly don't know the details.
I think I might be wrong, but I think it might have to do with like pharmaceutical packaging or something.
Oh, really?
On that same building that the bus is on?
I didn't know you had that, frankly.
Unfortunately, Brad Chaffee, who's the owner's representative, is not well this evening, and he's not able to make it. I'm sure he would have the answer for that. And we can certainly have that discussion at the next meeting.
Just curious.
Are these housing units going to be, I know, the majority of them, more than half of them are slated.
Sorry. Because we capture this, can you speak into the mic and
Oh,
just say
sure.
your name, please?
Yep.
It's for the person
Sure.
for the person taking minutes.
Excuse me?
It's for the person taking the minutes.
You're also
Oh,
welcome to sit
okay.
there if you want to do
Sure.
that. You just-
Linda Walker, Highwood 3. So some of us were at the planning board meeting last week, and we learned that a lot of the units, more than half the units are slated to be 3-bedroom units. And I'm just curious if the units are going to be rentals or sold as like housing, permanent housing, or are they rental units? What's going in up there?
What is it, a condo complex or is it?
It's mixed. It's a building with, well, go ahead. I'll let you speak. It's your project.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's various housing types that are going in up there. There's 20 units that will be located in a large building with some commercial space. And then I believe there are 20 duplex units and 9 single-family housing units. Exactly, it's my understanding, and I just don't want to speak out on something that I'm not 100% sure of. I believe their intent is to sell the units. But again, I would defer to Mr. Chaffee at the next meeting to confirm that.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry to interject, but likely at planning board, because
Oh,
we're not, it's outside of our buffer
Very
zone
true.
and jurisdiction,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Sure, sure.
ours is the pathway and then the de minimis impacts. And just for the record, Rick, and to the commission, I was going to review this one internally, if that's all right with you, otherwise
Sure.
I can push it out to beta for third party.
No, sure, that's fine, yeah.
But trying to spread the wealth now that my town council presentation is off the
Yeah,
dock.
right,
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Yes?
Kathy Kinzerski, Highwood 3. How close to are these buildings going to be to Highwood 2 and 3? What's the footage? Hello?
The building, the closest building, there's one building that is about just over 30 feet from the property line, and majority of the buildings are over 50 feet from the property line.
That's too close.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Yes, please.
Jean Holland from Highwood 3. At some point, I remember, I think I read that they were going to be removing a lot of soil material. And I'm just wondering, it's a fairly steep hill, and what the effects of that might be if they're doing that.
Yeah, so we have provided a sedimentation and erosion control plan for the development project. I fully expect that'll be reviewed by Beta for the planning board and the Conservation Commission. We'll take a look at that as well.
Right, anytime you start redirecting water around, especially if you're by, wetlands, hopefully, we want to make sure it's not causing adverse effects, right?
Right, because there are a lot of, I mean, you're going down towards the brook, Mine Brook.
Yeah.
And you're, like I said, it's a fairly steep hill, at least where we are.
Right.
And
So
I know like done it,
yeah, see if you're worried about sediment, whatever.
well, a lot of things. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how many times they have revised the driveway to CVS, and it still floods.
Okay,
So there's issues.
yeah, okay. So, yeah, that would, so stormwater characteristic, consideration would definitely be something that we would be,
Yeah. So I thought-
yeah. Anything else? Yes.
Barbara Callen, Highwood 2. I'm curious, when they put in the bus, they took out so many trees between that and Highwood. And as far as nature we have there, you know, it's all dispersed now. What's the plan? Are you going to take down more trees? So we're so close?
So it sounded like it was almost like a clear cut.
Oh, it was, no, it was,
Okay.
from where my unit is, I face, when I look out my living room and my bedroom, I can see the white building 24 hours a day. That is my life now. And my fear is they're gonna come in, but everyone else is, and when we had a board meeting last night, they're gonna do the same thing. And as you mentioned to Kathy, we're gonna be so close that I'm gonna see your living room, you're gonna see mine.
It's basically creamer and the chicken sign.
It's, we are beyond upset.
Okay.
So that is a big, big issue.
I see.
Thank you.
But just if I may, to Ricola's comment, definitely planning board, right? Come to the planning board, express the sentiment. That's, you know, again, this is beyond our purview, but the setbacks, the allocations, the, you know, the livability, if you will, right? I mean,
Livability,
that's
yes.
planning, that's where you want to go, that's where you want to make it work. Perfect.
Okay.
Right, so look for this project coming to planning, get involved in those meetings, have the people come and talk about the concerns that are there, because there they actually have oversight and overview as to those kinds of characteristics. We don't.
You don't.
Right.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
That I think is in your purview. And I lived in one unit for 30 years, and 5 years ago I moved to another unit. And where I am now, there's a strip of woods between me and Franklin Crossing. And at one point, I don't know if it still does, but at one point, that strip ran from 140 all the way up, I think, towards Martello Road and all the way up to Pond Street.
Okay.
I have seen deer and foxes, turkeys, they're everywhere. I haven't seen much of anything lately, but I would hate to lose that strip. And like I said, it's almost a right of way for some of the animals.
There's like corridor, it's basically a corridor.
Yeah.
A nature corridor, effectively.
Right.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Rick, the only wetland here is on the top of the project, is that correct?
That's correct.
And that strong dark line is the walking path?
That's correct.
So that's really the only thing, yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Marie
Thank you.
Delzago, Franklin Crossing. This may be within your jurisdiction, I don't know. Franklin Crossing is on that map there, exactly right, left. Our roadway is right to the left of where the walking path is. And I understand that they're putting the walking path not to disturb the wetlands, which is great.
Yes.
I just was wondering if the applicant has any idea, because it looks like it's going to come very close to our property and where our buildings are there. And it is a walking path, so I mean, it sounds like it's going to be beautiful, but I was just wondering, any idea of how many trees in that area, because that is the buffer between us and the project, would be cut down, making that walking path?
Yeah, so what we were hoping is that we could, stake out the actual walking path area within the buffer zone and have that reviewed by the conservation agent. And our plan would be to meander the path slightly between the trees if possible to avoid having to cut any trees. If I recall correctly, you had mentioned you were concerned about some pine trees along the edge of your property or possibly on our property.
Yeah, there's a group of pine trees that make a very nice buffer.
Right, we do plan on taking a look at those and making sure, we're aware of where those are and addressing that.
Okay.
But unfortunately, the weather hasn't been conducive to field work lately.
No, what did somebody say, Alaska? I agree. I agree. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Did you see the pickleball court?
So are the existing buildings on that plan that's up, Rick, or is that Highwood there?
That are located, yes. Again, if I could share my screen, no, I got rid of it. So yes, if you look at the front page, you'll see the hatched out area, which is the site locus. And then to the north of that, you will see the outlines of the buildings that are the Highwood buildings,
Okay.
yes.
Thanks.
I had a question about on all of these plans, I don't see anything with buffer zones. Am I missing something?
100-foot buffer zone, 50-foot buffer zone, and
They're right here.
25-foot buffer
This is the
zone.
wetland with all the flags as the nodes. The buffer
Yes.
zone are the surrounding lines.
The buffer zone,
Thank you, yep.
So I'm looking at the aerials on this, on the property map. So the one on the right there, if I'm, and you can correct me, that's 100 Panther Way. The one on the left, that's another property, or you're combining both of them? It's displayed here as 0, so 0 West Central Street. Is that correct?
correct. So the property where the wetland is located is actually a separate property from, there's actually 3 properties being combined. The one that the bus garage is located on, the one where the wetland is located, and then there's a separate lot that the family owns that is located on the northeast corner of the site, where the driveway entrance off of Panther Way is located.
Okay. So I'm just kind of looking at the aerials here. Yeah, it just shows 0. Just want to make sure that I'm interpreting that correctly, what the property is, and where you're stating that the wetlands is, you know, on the record, it's 0 West Central Street, so I'm not sure if that's going to make a difference much with the application. But thanks for clarifying that. I guess, ma'am, to your point, as far as like the turkeys, I think you were talking about the animals and yeah. So I'm actually on. I'm not in a butter, but I'm like around that area. So yeah, I've noticed a lot of wildlife missing. So for sure, you know, I used to have turkeys in my backyard all the time, and I haven't seen them in a while. So it's you know, just things change for sure, and you know, I'm definitely you know, kind of observant of that as well. One of the things too is I'm looking at the grade, and this is more for the planning board. But yeah, it looks like a very steep grade here. Is that my?
Well, I think that's what you guys are saying, is it's steep.
It's very steep. So.
Yeah, very steep.
Yeah.
You can see the contours.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm also looking at like the elevation views here. So, you know, I guess it's still under review. You're gonna have an internal review, so. But I don't really have too many comments. I'm still looking at this, but I just kind of noticed just the general footprint layout, what it is right now and what they're proposing. So, is there, just asking the question, replication, any plans for any of that? Like,
So, that is a good question. That is something that I have on my list to address. This site is, because of the nature of it being over 55 and under planning board mostly, right? I have heard from the town planner that pathway may shift. It really depends on planning board feedback because it is considered part of their amenities.
Oh, okay.
So I am tentatively waiting to hear more of a definitive pathway from planning board on that. Similarly with, you know, the back lots there. And then to your point, Commissioner Puga, my chair, it's going to be subdivided. The one project is 102 Panther Way.
Okay.
So that's we are considering it all as one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at addresses right now. and
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Just looking at the, our property map here. We have the 100, 102, which is the right side of that.
Yep.
And then this right here on the left side where the wetlands is listed as 0 West Central Street.
Yep.
So, just that's where I wanted to get a clarification on, that it's not, just one property, it's 2 of them here. And it's noted on the drawings there. So, I don't have any other, questions at this point, but like I said, I'm still digesting this one.
You might have said it, what is the walking path going to be? Is it going to be paved, or what's the surface?
So there is a detail of the walking path. It basically be constructed of a gravel base and then loom over it with grass on top.
Okay, so a grass path. All right, thank you.
Anything else? No. No? Any other comments inside? No?
Just to
Did you
confirm,
have
Rick.
another comment?
Yeah, I just wondered where they'll be exiting. Is it onto Panther Way? The homes, will they exit on Panther Way, or will they be going out to 140? What's the exit project there?
They look like they're exiting on Panther Way.
So that will add to all the traffic, police station, Highwood Drive, the skating rink, the high school. There's a lot of traffic.
As well as the Eaton Place and the new place that they're gonna be building next to it.
I have a question. Did I read correctly? Is Franklin considering moving the police station?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So, but not anytime real soon, right?
There's a committee for it. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. So, like, not now?
Hasn't been decided.
No.
Isn't that the deal, they're gonna try and move it to Parmenter, but
Yeah,
that was
no.
deeded only for education, right? I think that was the last thing.
I think there was a mention about.
As far as traffic goes, that's why we encourage you to go to the planning board, because our only jurisdiction is the top of that hill, and that walking path.
We can
so,
sympathize, but we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, so that's why.
Yeah, because, I mean, we live in the town too, we see the same thing, so, we understand.
I'm back.
Hi. Could you state your name?
I'm, when I'm.
State your name. Just
Oh,
for-
I'm Jean Tolland.
Thank you.
When they end up, my concern is that we've got the skating rink, we've got the Eaton Place. They're going to be building another senior housing building beyond that. And again, I'm looking at that little bit of nature walkway that the animals have access to. That's my reason for bringing up the new place. Not the traffic's a thing, but I know that's not yours. But I think where the animals can go does come under yours.
I think you're speaking of, is it Veterans?
Veterans Memorial.
Veterans?
So where on that map is the strip that you're talking about?
That I'm not sure of, because it runs up from where the sculpture park is I think where it's, as you cross Panther Way, the wooded area starts and it goes up alongside of Highwood 1 and Highwood 2. You've got the CVS and all, but I think then it runs up between Highwood 3 and Franklin Crossing, and up behind Eaton Place, almost, at one point, I think it actually ran all the way up to Pond Street, up through, the names of the streets, there's Iroquois and Arundel or something like that, Martello Drive. And then, I think they actually used to be able to get across Pond Street to where the old sewer beds were, and out into all the area around the river. And I don't know if they could get over to like to 495 and across there. Someday we maybe should be thinking about animal paths under 495.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, thank you.
Just a question on water. Every year we have a water ban, and being in Highwood, we have a pump house because of the elevation. I believe the crossing does as well. You have a pump house as well. Because of the elevation, who would oversee that, or would it require like a pump house or something? Would it affect us with our water pressures, or how would that come into play with a development like this? What's that?
That would have to be with planning board with the town
It
engineer.
would be planning
Yep.
board.
Yep.
Okay.
So, those are the things that they look at, when, when they start putting something together on the plan, as far as like, what the water usage, what the anticipated water usage is for this, for these residents, but also like what the capacities are currently, and pressures and all that. I mean, as you've seen in California, they kind of ran out of water in some of these, for the fire hydrants, so I would think the part of that would be their review on that too, so. But those are good questions to ask the planning board as well. And also, like I said, fire hydrants too. I think that would be something that they have sufficient waters for those as well.
Anything else? Thanks for the input.
Thank you. Okay. You want to?
So, yeah, we got a motion to continue the NOI for 100-102 Panther Way to February 6th at 7:10.
I second it.
Good?
Rick, is that good for you? Because aren't you going before the planning board? The 24th, is that what I heard you say?
Well, we are, but we certainly would like to, see if the conservation agent thinks
Okay.
she'll be able to have a site walk by that time. We can play it by ear if necessary. We could continue. I would like to, I will follow up with Bricolai and see when she plans on doing that. So as I said, we could get that staked out for her. There is a lot of activity up in that area at some points, so I don't want to have it staked out too far in advance.
Rick, what about having it staked for me to go out next Wednesday?
Sure. What is that date, Rika? Let me see.
It'd be Wednesday the 29th. I don't know if you'll be back from your vacation then.
Yes, I'll be back Monday. Just a long week. Yeah, I do have an appointment at 4 o'clock in Boston, but I could certainly do the morning to probably
Sure.
2 o'clock.
Sure, why not, let's go at 9. Or I can be there at 9. You don't necessarily need to be there, but.
2:29 at 9 a.m. Put it in my phone now. Thank you.
Yep.
So we'll stick with the 6th. So
Yes.
motion continue the NOI 100-102 Panther Way till February 6th at 7:10.
And second, and I vote to continue.
Vote to continue.
Continue.
Continue?
Continue.
The last of the public hearing.
Thank you. Continue. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone, for showing up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Okay. Go to the, it for the hearings for the evening, and we're now going to minor buffer zone activity. The first one up is 22 Garnet Drive. This is a pine tree removal. We have an applicant to go in project.
Hello.
Anthony McNeil, 22 Garnet Drive, here today just to seek approval to remove a few trees that are within the 50-foot buffer zone. They're about 22 to 23 feet away from my house. There are 7 in total, 2 mature pine trees that are double the size of my house, and 1 oak tree where the branches are now starting to peek over the roof. And then the remaining 4 are what I would consider little scrub trees that will continue to grow and mature. So the winds, they don't have to mention it to you all, are getting pretty aggressive, and you know they're pretty close to my home. And with the doubling of the size of my house, God forbid if one of these trees fell, it would cause some serious damage. So
Out of curiosity, have you had a tree guy come and just take a look at it to see?
I've had a couple of bids for people to come out and take them down.
Okay.
So I'd be leaving the stumps, but they would be removing the
Right.
trees with a crane
Mhm.
and taking the trees away.
Okay.
Yep.
How many trees did you say?
8.
So there are 7 in total, 3 that are mature, so 2 pines and an oak, and then the rest are just 20-foot like saplings, if you will.
Okay.
Okay.
That are adjacent.
And they're within the 50-foot?
They are, yeah,
Okay.
probably right around the 40 to 50 mark to our property.
Okay.
And those are the pines, or?
Yeah.
Well, I'd sure recommend getting rid of the pines. I
Um,
had several of them miss my house by that much. They come down on a regular basis.
My only comment would be for the oaks, especially if you're leaving the stumps, you're going to have oak bushes. So it's great habitat, but you can trim them and beautify them as much as you want. So just setting expectations that they're gonna resprout, so.
Sure.
Yeah.
You don't happen to have photos?
He-
I did, I attached them to the.
Oh,
They're in the
I-
Google Drive.
Oh, they're in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold
So
on.
we got a new website launch and not everything made it over.
I see.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
it's-
So I don't have
That's
it.
what's going on.
I
Have you
don't
heard
have
my
it.
clicking here? I'm trying to find things here, but
Yeah, I can't
it's,
find it either.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
So it's in the Google Drive is his photos.
Yeah, I got it. I was just looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at the thing with the dot, the map.
The site map.
So, all right.
Oh, okay. They're pretty big.
Hmm.
Yeah. Very tall.
So how's he getting the you get a fence there? How's he getting the equipment in, do you know?
So we come in on the left-hand side of my home with the crane, they
Oh.
platform the ground,
Okay.
and then they would come in with the crane and bring the trees up over.
Oh, I see.
All right, so you got access on this side. Okay, yeah, all right, good. Okay. So 7 trees for sure, right?
Yep, 2 mature pine trees, and then the 1 mature oak, and then the other 4 are just, we consider maybe, I don't want to say scrub trees, but
We understand, yeah.
they're small, yeah, smaller pines that will continue to grow in size the same way as the pines that are there, so.
All right.
Any concerns, guys?
I don't have any concerns.
No?
We go that?
No? Okay, yeah. So we have confirmed the project scope, and do I have a motion to approve the?
Give you a motion to approve the MBZA for 22 Garnet Drive.
I second that,
Okay.
and I vote to approve it.
vote to approve.
Vote to approve.
Approve?
Approve.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Hey, thanks a lot.
And thanks for the information here.
Yeah.
That's great.
Appreciate being up front.
Take care. Okay, now we'll go to the second MBZA for the night, which is 32 Palomino Drive. Now, it says here, I guess this has been withdrawn?
It hasn't been withdrawn. This was submitted while I was actually in the field on Thursday. They
Okay.
submitted it, I think, 6 minutes before the deadline, so it was received by admin staff and added to the
Oh,
agenda
okay.
and posted. Now that I've had time to review, it's vista pruning.
Oh.
And that's an exempt use on it, for sure under the Wetlands Protection Act, and then your bylaw has policies that speak to vista pruning, so long as it's not full tree removal.
Okay.
So I gave administrative approval for the vista
Okay,
pruning
all right.
Excellent.
and
There's nothing
refunded
else to
them
do.
their money. There's nothing for you to do.
Excellent.
Okay, good.
Okay, good. So let's go on to the next section, which is permit modifications, extensions. First up is 74 South Street. This is a permitting the existing stormwater system. Okay.
So the applicant, if you recall, this was one at the, even though it's a single-family home,
Yep.
The applicant had proposed to put in stormwater treatment.
Yeah.
In the process of construction, there's a temporary stormwater treatment. They're just requesting to be able to stay with that instead of installing the Coltech system.
Okay. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Yeah. no
Any
issue.
concerns about doing that? No? Okay. Yes, we can, then if that's okay, we can approve the permit modification extension for 74 South Street.
Vote to approve.
Well, you have to make
Oh, a motion? I'll give you a motion to approve the 74 South Street permit modification and extension as stated.
Okay,
Second that?
okay. And
Vote to approve.
Vote to approve.
Approve.
approve?
Approve.
Approved?
Sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. And then we have the last thing is Lot 1, the modification extension for Lot 1 Bennett Street. And this is, this is extensive.
It is, so they itemized all the changes, but it is a net reduction,
Okay.
which is, I mean, for some of our new commissioners, for permit modifications, the commission always has the option to reopen a public hearing if it is extensive enough.
Okay.
But again, this is reducing the area of disturbance and reducing impervious
Okay.
and actually downsizing the house. However, my one note of caution is that I am not certain that the current property owner is aware or has been in communication about these changes
Oh.
with the representative.
Oh.
Can I speak to that?
Please do.
Yes.
Please.
I've been fully aware of the process so far. I own the property and there we go. I own the property, my wife and I do, and we are selling it. And the buyer and the representative are both on the call here. I believe the engineer might actually be in the room still. So yeah, I'm fully aware. I signed the form giving my permission for them to submit on my behalf or on behalf of my property for the request of these changes. So I did speak with Bricolai yesterday or the day before, and she expressed that, and everything is good to go on my end.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that everything's copacetic and transparent.
Right.
100%. No, yeah,
For you guys and us, both everybody.
Yeah, and I might have communicated more confusion to Bricolai just because of I'm not familiar with these processes. So, but yes, I have been aware of this from the go and approve of their
Great,
application for the modifications.
great, okay.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
That's good. There's no other concerns, yes? Okay.
I'll give you a motion to approve the permit modifications to Lot 1 Bent Street as stated.
Okay,
Second that?
okay.
Vote to approve.
Vote to approve.
Vote to approve.
Approved?
Approve?
Approve.
Approved?
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thanks,
for coming.
guys.
Thanks for coming and
Yeah,
clarifying.
Explain
good
it.
luck.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you, Bricolai. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you. So, now we go on to the minutes. I did take a read through the minutes, and I just want to point out one thing. In the bottom of page 2, it's not clear, it says, just because it's a comment, it's stating a comment that I made, but the way it's written, it's not clear what I'm actually referring to. There are like 3 different subjects in the previous paragraph. What is it that I'm talking about? And what I wanted to somehow modify the paragraph to say is that we're specifically talking about the change in the trees, these are the trees.
Yep.
That we typically have not done the 1 inch. We have never actually done that.
That's right.
We think that's silly. So I just want to make sure that that specifically is what I'm referring to in this paragraph, is clear the way it's written, that's all. So I'm not sure how to, I'm gonna let the editor figure out how to do that.
I would be the editor.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
right, okay.
I would edit it.
But
She
you
drafts it, I
understand-
edit.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
right, yeah. That's the only comment I had, just to get in there, because again, it's something that keeps coming up. I kind of wanted it stated clearly in the record, what we're thinking, so if someone's reading and then thinking, oh, okay, right? So we don't keep having these discussions all the time, that's all.
Should we change the verbiage that states this 1 inch and put 3 inch on it, or is that?
It's in the bylaw.
It's in the
Working
bylaw.
on changing the bylaws.
Easier said than done.
Lots, I have nothing on my plate.
Yeah,
So it's in the process.
So you could probably do that tomorrow?
Probably. It's okay, Jamie says it's on the docket post-July, so we got time
Yeah,
anyways.
because it has to be changed by the town council.
It has to be changed by the town council, and they're booked out till July, so
Okay,
it's,
all right.
once I heard that, I went, okay,
That is the goal.
back
That is
burner.
the goal.
Get it?
So can we have a motion to approve the minutes with that one change, unless anyone else has any other changes or anything?
No.
Good.
Give you a motion to approve the minutes for January 9th, 2025, pending the changes as discussed.
Second, vote to approve.
Vote to approve.
Approve.
Approve,
Approve?
Approve.
Approve?
okay,
We've got violations and enforcement, right?
Nope, next time.
nothing,
No violations.
nothing,
Nope, they were all continued to the next agenda.
okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Did you have to go to?
So they didn't go away, Richard?
I wouldn't talk about it.
They're
It's
hanging
on
out
the next
still,
agenda.
just so you know, just don't.
I know.
I didn't want you getting like upset.
Bane of my existence.
To,
All right.
next
Any
one.
news about the court situation?
Yeah, the court situation, what's it?
It's not on the agenda.
Yeah,
I
so-
would wait for it to open up the meeting for it on the next
Yeah,
agenda.
Yeah, okay, yep.
got it.
All
You
right,
can tell us before we all go to jail, right?
Yeah. Hey! Why, they're looking at me, man. Just send them letters to me. Anyway, okay, so, chair and commission comments, do we have any updates for anything specific?
Just MAC, they have their, spring conference. Please let me know by Monday
Oh,
if
yeah,
you would
yeah.
like to go.
Yeah, that is probably what's going to, guys. Again, it's really is good to network with the other people in the other towns, so just to see what's going on. Also, the vendors are really good because they bring all the new, technology. If you're a geek and you like to geek out new technologies, that really is pretty cool to see. So I just recommend, I mean, I know it's your day and all that kind of stuff, but it really is. When is it? Yeah.
March 1st, Saturday, March 1st.
That's right.
Is it gonna be like the same format as the fall one? Like more or
Yeah, I
less?
just don't know if they're doing fundamentals.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
We got an email from Mac, I think, about it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You all should be getting MAC
Yeah, I'm on
emails,
the district.
because you're all
No, I did.
members. Yep,
Okay,
So do you need to know by
Monday.
Monday?
by Monday.
So it's kind of an all-day thing, huh?
It's an all-day thing, yeah. You
Is
go
it the
down-
same spot that last one?
I am
I
not
think
certain.
it's at Worcester, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Okay. Might be worth a do.
It's worth it, everybody is. Anything else? No?
Spritz Farm?
And just had the presentation from town council for feedback.
How did that go?
Pretty well. Maple Hill, they had no changes that we hadn't already considered,
Okay.
which was validating. And then Schmidt's Farm, the feedback from town council was to nix the barn, do a shade structure based on cost.
Because the barn was like 2 mil, right?
On the high end, it was only just over a mil difference. On the low end, it
Oh,
was
like compared to-
121 for
Yeah.
repair, 121,000. But ideally, I mean, not ideally, logistically, it's not gonna be $121,000.
So they're not gonna, so they said, nix that, yeah. Are they just gonna tear it down?
It will, yes, but, the goal is to reuse as much as possible, if not on the shade structure itself, because that would have to be a custom build, but around the property.
lot of angst in not being able to keep it, but
Yeah.
cost was
The cost, yeah.
pretty.
Well, that, I mean, we're seeing that now with like, the CPA, these historic sites. It's one, we want to keep them, but we actually get in there with the professionals and find out how much it's gonna cost to renovate, or even build it up to, like, disability standards, et cetera. It's so expensive.
Huge impact on parking too. I think we looked at that, right, because there's some wetlands right that, is that stream that goes through right there, right? You can only.
No, that is much farther away than what was perceived.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the parking lot at the barn, that's well out of jurisdiction.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But if we didn't take down the barn, I thought it would limit the parking, but maybe not.
It limits the accessibility.
Oh, okay.
So the way that the parking lot comes out and where the bus loop is, it's a straight shot down and the barn is right there.
Yeah.
Whereas with the shade structure, it's more centralized, so you kind of have this open vista when you walk out.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
So, and then it's just a shade structure, so you can see right through it.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Good idea.
But limited parking. Parking is only about 20 spots.
Oh, really?
So get there early? Yeah.
That's a that's a big area, 20.
As Jamie said last night, for those of you who thought this was gonna be a wedding venue, it's not.
No. Well, unless you're busing.
I guess.
You have to bus.
Of course, yeah. But it was just funny.
But, well, the barn, they're thinking, oh, we're gonna fix up the barn, and we're gonna have like weddings in the barn, and rent it out, and all this stuff.
Well, and there's no water or sewer.
That's
They're gonna have to drill a well for the community garden's fine, but there's no sewer,
Right,
so
Somebody threw out their
No
porta
infrastructure,
potties.
basically, right?
no infrastructure.
But
Yeah, you're basically recreating a farm, basically, for the construction.
Yeah.
No way, that sounds great.
And then I had mentioned too, the, foundation of the barn is stone. And the barn was built 1935, 1936, it's not pre-1900s. So the stone is just fine to use around as wayfinding and, markers throughout the property too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There are creative ways to keep it on site.
So I think if they're proposing tearing it down, it'd be nice to have kind of like a placard or something to recognize that there used to be a barn there, and this is what the history is. You know, like you see it, Concord. You know, this, it used to be here, but no longer. But this is what it looked like. Something to just kind of highlight what the historical value was, and also, bring awareness to the family that used to live there.
So we have overhangs on the shade structure. It wasn't the time or place to get into those sort of details last night because it really was a high level feedback on cost. But we have overhangs on the shade structure to be able to put photos. So I have all the photos if you were there for the open space presentation and things like that, or if you had tuned in. I have all the historic photos from the family.
Yeah.
So that was something. And then, if it's a prefab shade structure, using the beams or just hanging them up, just for visuals, things like that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a plaque. You could do that on the ground.
Yeah.
You could even just do a faux delineated foundation with the old stones right around it. DPW would hate it because they couldn't mow, but that's fine. They yell at me anyways.
Yeah, I just like seeing that. You go on trails or you go to like historical sites, you see something that once used to be there and just kind of highlights importance and what it was. So yeah.
Connected to the history.
It connects to the history. I'm a big history person. So.
Drives my wife crazy. I read every single one of those
I
sites.
do that. That's why when I go to museums, I like to go either by myself or or like whenever I travel to, when I do work travel, I go to museums and I can spend all day there.
Yeah.
Just
I used to do the same thing.
my,
Exactly.
my kids and my, I'm not gonna say much. I like reading through every single, placard.
Yeah.
But I was here yesterday. We were both here, and it was a great presentation and definitely thanks Brika Lai for putting that
That was well done,
Yeah.
Thank you.
a lot of work.
It's a lot of late night mathing.
With that being said, do we have anything else before we close? I don't think so. Yes? No? Okay. I will take a motion to close.
I'll give you a motion to close the meeting today.
Second that?
Okay.
Vote to close.
Debatable? Yes?
Close.
Vote to close.
Close?
Aye.
Close? Aye? Close. Okay. Thank you, guys. This is a big one, a long one. Thank you.